Let's go. Whew. This freaking Instagram, man. Good God. No, I'm just saying this is the first one went good too. The first one was real good. And it's just acting crazy. Yo,
Hello?
you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, how you doing?
Man, this Instagram, bro. Good.
Technology.
I see why Teddy Riley was going crazy, man.
It's okay.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing very well, son. Doing very well. Doing very
That's good. Hold on, I can't really hear you. Let me turn you up a little bit.
well.
Now, my volume's up top. Let's see. Yeah. So, are you still based in New York now, right?
Oh, yeah, very much based in New York City, Brooklyn, definitely.
Okay. You got the volume up as much as you can. Well, I guess it's just your phone. So,
Yeah,
so
it's my. I can get a little closer. I got the volume
yeah,
all the
that's
way
good.
up.
That's good. I can hear
Uh,
you now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, New York been here for a couple of decades now.
Got you. You're not leaving the Big Apple. You staying safe over there, man? I mean, it's been crazy
Yeah,
in New York.
it's crazy. I'm staying very much quarantined.
Hmm.
I'm just going to the local grocery store here and there, so it's not doing a
Yeah.
lot. Man.
Is it crazy looking outside and seeing like Times Square, everything look like empty?
I know it's crazy. You never see anything like this. The last time I could think is when like the lights went out, like the power surge, but that was like many years ago.
Yeah.
When like really dark and stuff like that, but not like empty streets, perfect for like a zombie movie or something like that, or
Right. Right.
World War or something. So
Mm. Damn, man, this is some crazy stuff. But New York empty. That's nothing you're gonna see in the next to tell your grandkids about. But um,
this is a generation, definitely.
but look, man. Let's before pre-pandemic. So let's catch up, man. I think with last artist spotlight I had you Skyping into the Microsoft store, and then you were just off the heels of the Jordan Peele thing. So tell me how that. Obviously, congratulations because that film won a lot of awards, and so go ahead, do one of them. You know what I'm saying? you know.
Yeah, no,
Let's start off with that experience because that's kind of where we left off. Though, how was that experience and working on a movie that I guess kind of won all those awards? What was that like being a part of that?
it was great.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough to work with the cinematographer Toby Oliver, and
Hmm.
you know, it was a great experience. I did the New York unit,
Hmm.
and uh, you know, I think as I told you before, working on that film, we didn't really know what exactly the expectations was going to be afterwards. We were just really doing the film and pretty much falling in love with the project and you
Hmm.
know, best we can with the with the actual filming. And when it
Right.
was over, it was like this major explosion. First, it won a couple of awards at Sundance. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I'm like, oh wow, maybe doing something. And then the momentum progressed, and it progressed to the fact that when I was watching TV myself, and I'm filming it and doing a selfie, as Jordan received the award. Even though my name wasn't written on it, but I'm like, I was able to, touch it, so to speak.
Connect a little bit. Yeah. Right. So,
Through the stuff I was able to contribute, so it was good.
and before we dive into what you've been up to, bro, just tell everybody who you are, what you do, your title, and what that kind of thing.
Yeah, Quenell Jones, cinematographer, independent cinematographer, but also a union camera operator. So, things that you was talking about, able to work on films like Get Out, The First Purge, and other TV shows as well, like Daredevil. And actually, recently, I was fortunate enough to do some days on the Last OG TV show. That's on
Oh,
right now.
nice.
So,
Okay.
so it's just a wide range of experience, but also have a very long documentary background as well. I've done several documentaries, like on the autobiographical documentary on Joe Frazier, on the birth of hip hop, on hip hop clothing, and others. So yeah, so so I just have a experience from TV, documentary, narrative film, even a recent pilot I photographed with Jim Jones and Tahiri. So that was very fun to work on it too. So that's that did I guess like to say the independent festival route. So it was very fun. So.
Yeah. And I can't remember, man. Did you self-taught? Did you go to school, or what was the deal? I can't even remember.
No, no. I have an undergraduate degree in narrative cinematography, and then I have a master's degree in documentary cinematography from Manchester, England. So I was able to, while I was there, able to travel all over Europe and also work with a variety of directors from Malaysia to China to Thailand to Germany, obviously English director. So I was able to get a lot of different sort of sensibilities, while I was there. So, then after that, I joined the union as a camera loader and worked my way up to now I'm a union camera. So just something I've always wanted to do. I've been doing this since high school. I
Yeah.
started way back in high school. So definitely.
Cool, man. So keep us up to date. Last time we talked, we were on a big screen in Microsoft, so you gotta. I had you posted up, man. I took out those pictures too. And thanks for supporting me, man. That was, but I was just trying to get it. I was just trying to get myself, trying to get the momentum going. So I appreciate your help with that. But what have you been doing ever since, as far as camera op, as far as DP work? What have you been up to? Give us all the nitty gritty.
Yeah, definitely. Last year, I was fortunate enough to shoot a Union Tier 2 TV show for Paramount. It was an unscripted TV show. And we did that with 6 weeks out in Puerto Rico, season 1. Fortunately, it didn't get picked up for season 2, but it was called Marriage Rescue. It was with the same guy who did Bar Rescue, but he also did a TV series that I was able to photograph called Marriage Rescue. So 6 weeks out in Puerto Rico, so it was a lot of it's pretty much like a couples adventures.
Yeah.
We're zip lining, across Puerto Rico. We're ATVs. I'm on boats. So it was kind of a wild adventure for 6 weeks. It was in the middle of a jungle. You know what I mean? So it's quite an adventure. So that was very fun to work on. But also I have a documentary out that recently just screened in Jamaica TV, Jamaica television. It's on Champ. Champs in Jamaica is this large. Uh, it's about track and field. Jamaica has this very large culture about on track and field. Similar to like I was trying to akin it to like similar to like American football, American college football, like this high level of fanaticism that the shuts down for this particular day. I mean, this is it's like 30,000 people there. It's packed. That's for high school track and field, basically where like Usain Bolt come from. So our documentary is about this group of kids coming from a very poor village in Jamaica, trying to make their way up, to lead in champs. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but it was more about the journey of them compared to like bigger schools who have more money, and it's like like a Rocky story, so to speak. So that just finished screening in Jamaican TV and should be screening in PBS in the upcoming week. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. So tell us a little bit about, man, because you've done kind of the full gamut, right? You've done docs, you've done indies, you've done Marvel series, you've done movies. So what's look? I know, man. You get in where you fit in.
You gotta be a little bit here, be a little bit there.
Yeah.
My friends are artists, so I've done art films as well. So I've done plenty of art films. So yeah.
What do you prefer? What's your preference and why? As a camera op, what's your preference?
To me, it's all storytelling. It depends on the medium I'm speaking with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, it's not really a preference. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just the excitement of what type of story I'm gonna tell. Because because I've done plenty of avant-garde art films and working with my fine art friends. And
Yeah.
they have explosive ideas that are just, out there. I did, one friend, he was saying, I'm gonna take, colored, rainbow colored tape, and we did this thing called spontaneous sculptures where he built sculptures in the middle of the streets in New York, and I filmed it on like Super 35 millimeter, and it was like, we set fire to certain. So to me, that's visually interesting. But
Mm-hmm.
then when I do a documentary, the story, about the people. Man, I've done a documentary about gentrification and sometimes following people around and I could be filming these people knowing that I was at the city council, knowing that this particular area is going to be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But people like, wow, I know your business is about to be destroyed, but I still cannot say that because I have to have this level of objectivity and everything of the sort. So, but
Got
then
it.
at the same time, working on a Marvel film, you know what I mean? So, or Marvel TV show or bigger movie, it's a different sort of pace, you know what I mean? Different sort of thinking, you know what I mean? And, it has its excitement as well. So
What
to me,
about the
it's just,
resources, though? What about resources? I mean, because obviously, if you work in Marvel and then one of the avant-garde ones, I mean, how you compensate for that if you're jumping from obviously maybe like a $50,000 indie to a multi-million-dollar whatever Marvel series or whatever? How do you move between that?
yeah, it's now you just have more people doing a lot more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and to me, you just move in between it, just managing. To me, because me as a camera operator, especially on those bigger shows, and I've done cinematography on the indie side. So to me, it's always about anticipation, being ready.
Yeah,
As a cinematographer, you know, uh, discussing with hair, makeup, wardrobe, doing stuff that I know the cinematographer don't have time to do.
got it.
I mean, talking to, set dressers, I'm like, is this stuff is in the right place? I'm talking to, the hair and makeup people talking about, well, is that the right side? This, I mean, the hair is over here. So it's a different philosophy versus when I'm shooting an indie film and I'm the cinematographer, and
Mm-hmm.
I have my grip and my gaffer and man, my PAs and and it's a different sort of mode because I'm dealing with producers and now I'm dealing with directors and a director always comes to me and say, "What you think?" and are we, I mean, all that sort of stuff. So the conversation is different, versus when I'm a cinematographer versus when I'm a camera operator. So
Got it.
it's different conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but it alwa's trying to get to the point of making a great image. You know
Got
what
it.
I mean? And so it just doesn't matter what part of the process I'm in. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We all trying to get to the best image as possible. Definitely.
Got it. Got it. I got another question for you, but right now, anybody that says send the feed, because we're just catching up. This is Quenell. We've had another discussion prior, so if y'all got questions, throw them in there, and I'll go ahead and ask them. Okay. But on to what you've been doing. So what's your feelings as far as, let's just get back to what my niche is, and that's kind of the exposure to people, the newcomers, right? The ones that are just trying to get their first gig. Like using this experience we got right now where it kind of, locked down your quarantine, what should you be doing to prepare yourself to, get noticed by Quenell or a showrunner, director, whatever? What can we be using this time for when everybody's kind of like, inside and not really being productive as far as productions? What's your advice?
Well, I shoot every day. Like literally because I'm not going outside and photographing street of people and stuff like that. Some people are, but I'm not. So I reconstituted my mind and train. I started training my brain differently, and I started shooting uh, tabletop. So I'm still working my mind within the realm of photography, cinematography. Making my art. So to me, and also, I'm sure a lot of people. I watch a lot of films. I read several books. I read a couple of books
Mm-hmm.
since we were here, and also I've been watching the new series Masterclass. So I've been, watching lectures. Uh, to me, it just is about continuously trying to work on your game because it's not always about creating the work, which is good, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's about it's the research behind the work too. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's
Yeah.
perfect. especially me as an image maker, to research painters. You know what I mean? To
That's the same
research.
thing the guy Michael just said. He said just going back and looking at a 18th century portrait or art just adds to your work, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, and it does, you know, and sometimes it may not be, you know, like immediately there, but through, you know, it's just in you. You know what I mean? So if you watch enough images, all of a sudden you start relating, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, I remember this on this side, and
Right.
actually these colors match this, you know. So it just in the bank of memory and stuff like that. So because when you actually on set, you just don't have time to think, especially on a bigger show. You know, the pace is at a quickened pace. You know, you have to really be on your toes. You have to really be, you know, alert. And, you don't really have time to think and, you know, ponder and, you know, look at the
So
light.
be on your feet, right? You just like,
It's
yeah.
in you. You know, you have
Hmm.
to be able to pull it out. Like, because my father is a grandmaster chess player. He's played a lot of speed chess. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
slow chess is different from speed chess. So
Yeah. Are you getting involved in any, are you just kind of strict, what's on the film? Are you getting involved in any of the editing or the post-production, coloring, any of that right now?
without yeah, without doubt, coloring.
Okay.
But on in the low budget documentary, some projects, yes. You know, I've because I've produced, and you know, when you're working in the documentary realm, you have many hats. But then sometimes I work with some documentary directors that don't need my advice. You know, what I mean, we have a lot of conversations. You know, I've been working with this one director for about 15, 20 years now, and
Hmm.
we have a dialogue, and when we talk about the film, it's for hours. You know, we talk for hours about style, tone, texture, what we do, what we try not to do. So, you know, when he gets into the edit, you know, we've already had those conversations, and I can see our conversation in the edit. And,
Hmm.
you know, something differently. They may want to ask for my advice or anything like that. But in regards to color correcting, yes, I am. Yes, I prefer to be there. Obviously, I've done commercials where, you know, they take the, you know, I've shot and, you know, it's in the can and I don't even know where it went to.
Yeah.
So those particular projects, but, you know, I prefer to be there to really set the color, definitely.
Now, when you're on set, are you expected to know, in other words, because you've been on, I'm sure a few different series that use different equipment. How, and this is just something I'm asking as a layman, right? How hard is it to go from project to project? Let's just say one series is using a red camera, the other one is using an Alexa, or whatever, right? Is it Do most of the people in your position know how to operate any of those? Is it the same kind of thing, just a different label, or or do you have to familiarize yourself with each kind of technology that comes out via software, visa, or camera type, or how does that work?
Each camera, you have to know. Each camera has its own set of parameters.
Mm,
And then in some instances, you may be working on a film camera and a digital camera at the same time. Uh, and that's when you have to just know your trade, know your craft. You know, I've been on films, especially when I was a camera assistant, where I'll be literally working on the digital camera, doing a bunch of digital buttons over here, and literally turn and rotate and start loading the film camera. Like
mm.
literally same
Yeah,
rotation because
yeah,
we're both digital and film. So to me, and you know, and plus I, you know, because I lived in Europe, you know, I was around people who speak 5 languages. And, you know,
hmm,
it fascinated me, but it's similar to that. You know, I don't speak 5 languages. I barely have one. But you know, I admire people who speak 5 languages, and I've seen them just go from French to German to some tribal language to some dialect to, you know, I mean, I'm like, wow, all in one go. So, you know, we have the capacity to do that. But yes, you do still have to learn. Now there's principles. You know what I mean? Like a digital camera, you know, you got to put the lens here, you know, but
hmm.
each of the menus, each one is generally different. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Do you recommend somebody out of school, whatever, just starting to work for free for a little bit, or
Without
just
doubt.
yeah?
You know, I know there's a controversy of, you know, internships, you should get paid and, you know, everything of the sort. Uh, Sure, you know, but also to me, knowledge is goes way further than any commerce you gain. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I still remember internships that I've done in my high school years that I still remember, and you know the lessons, and so I will always encourage people to try their best to get in this. It's a crazy business. It's a freelance business. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to be schlepping the cords and, you know, yeah, grab that bag of dirt. You know what I mean? Ain't no wrong with it. You know what I mean? Because you have to get familiarized with this new culture. It's a
Mm-hmm.
different system. So I always encourage people for that, definitely.
Got it. Got it. How about networking? What do you suggest as far as networking, building relationships to kind of get yourself in the door and on some of these projects?
Go to film festivals. You
There you
know,
go.
for film festivals, like everyone talks about Sundance. It is like the holy grail of meeting a lot of filmmakers. Tribeca here in New York, you know. So go to those festivals, meet filmmakers, go to those conferences, start hearing, you know, start getting into that particular world. You know, I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest if you want to be, you know, director, editor. But cinematography, I would always suggest, you know, go to cinematography forums. You know, there's different ones. Obviously, local 600 for held ones for public, but then there's stuff at Able Sin. There's stuff at Airy and other places. Sometimes Panavision. So there are other places that may be able to uh, offer stuff so you'd be able, but you have to familiarize yourself with technology and the people around it. But go to those places, and you know, you start meeting people, and you know, and obviously, I will always suggest people to join the union because you know you come to unions and you go to union events, and then you be able to start getting people, knowing people they get to know you, and you know, hopefully there's a synergy or a reaction there. So
Got it. Got it. I'm
yeah.
gonna change.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The my director that I met, that I've been working with for like 15, 20 years now, when I was living in England, I met him at the film festival I went to in England. You know, when I first got there, you know, I was like, well, what you gonna do? Go to a festival, you know. So I was there looking around, and I walked up, introduced myself to him. We shook hands. Uh, we was friends, just really drinking buddies for like a year. And then he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I have a project." And boom, that was our first film, and you know, and it spiraled to we're continuously working on, and we already planning our new project now. So it's just been it works. I'm not saying it's easy or if it's going to happen all the time, but you know, you just got to get yourself out there. You know.
Got it. Got it. I'm gonna switch topics for a second. Obviously, you know, with two black guys, so I got. How do you feel? Because we had like kind of resurgence of a lot of African American talent, you know, as far as shows, as far as directors, as far as all kind of, you know, behind the scenes. How do you see that trend continuing in 2020 and above? And have you seen that, you know, we're starting to get a lot of shows greenlit or, you know, projects that you've heard? What's your forecast for that, would you say?
It's been great. You know, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you know you know, it depends. You know, historians maybe will figure this out exactly when, but definitely in the 2000s, 2010s, 2010s, it's been a resurgence of black filmmaking like no other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could be a nerd of film history, and you know, the last two big film eras that we had, you know, in the African American or black filmmaking experience was
90s.
black exploitation,
Yeah.
but also we had a rise of race films during the Harlem Renaissance in the 20s,
Yep.
and there was an explosion of black filmmaking during the Harlem Renaissance era, and then studios picked that up during the black exploitation era. But this era blows both of those out the water.
You think so?
Statistically, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Blows black exploitation filmmaking out the water. So yes, we are in a new era. You know, will this trend continue? I think it will. You know what I mean? I believe so. You know, the technologies, hell, you and I are talking on Instagram. The technologies, you cannot put this genie back in the box. You know, it's out. You know what I mean? But now it's upon us as creators to continue making making films, and I'm all for it without a doubt.
Got it, got it. And let's talk a little bit about on the indie world, someone who may be coming in, and I'm going to bounce back to the person who wants to kind of follow your path, but the indie projects you work to, someone who's financing their own films, can you give advice as to someone who's doing that and maybe what to look for? In other words, say you are on a tight budget, but you still want to get something done, right, in a can. What should you definitely like not skimp on, or just give us some kind of advice as to what you would do, a game plan going in with maybe low financing and resources, but you want to get a quality product?
You have to find the right partners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is when you find the right team, because not only find the right team, person who's going to help you all want, but hopefully this person is multi-skilled, you know, who can wear multiple hats. Because currently I've been working on a black hair documentary for a number of years, and we're a small team, you know what I mean? But a number of us wear a number of hats, you know, some who's going to do the fun, and then someone's going to do the editing. I obviously doing shooting, but I produce and, you know, doing other things of that nature. So to me, finding a strong partner, creative partner, is quite vital in those sort of situations, because when you trying to, it's going to take longer to do any project because you don't have the money, you don't have the resources. People may not believe in you, even your father or your mother. Mm-hmm. So it's not, you have to fight through a lot to get your project done. And if you have a strong creative partner, then you can be able to get through those difficulties. So you know, that's where I would obviously start. Obviously, you need capital. You know, obviously through raising fund, through Indiegogo and everything of the sort. But if you have a strong partner, you guys can game plan that fundraising strategy, and then you all be able to push it out and game plan your next ideas. So it's really about having strong partners, because we also did an indie project, you know, the lineup, you know, we had very strong partners, you know, to get that project done. Trust me, it was, you know, it was tough, and hopefully I feel like some of the people watching was working on that show, but you know, it was tough getting through, you know, we had a lot of hurdles, we had a lot of, you know, obstacles, financial obstacles, and, you know, people here late, you know, it was just, you know, a lot of stuff. You know, I feel like trust me, I have a story for days on working on my indie projects, but we get it done. You know what I mean? And to me, it's about getting it done, because you're going to go through trials and tribulations. It's just going to happen. Like, get it done is the point. Get it done.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Great. Have you heard people have success with Indiegogo and GoFundMe and those kind of platforms? Have you heard a lot of success?
I have friends who raised 50,000, 52,000,
really?
100,000. Yeah. Get their film done. A friend of mine, he did a successful Indiegogo campaign. He shot down in Georgia. He did a successful Indiegogo campaign. Shot a beautiful film. He directed, shot it. You know, did a lot of the hats. He had other partners, but obviously did a lot. Film did on great, and you know, I salute him. Yeah, and you know, this, you know, but obviously there's failure. You know, I mean,
hold on before you go. What is the and guys, you can put in questions too if you have any. But for the ones where you know they were successful, what did they do first? Did they come up with like a pilot or a short or something to kind of get it going first? You understand what I'm saying? To gauge their success better with it.
Some created like a trailer, or some created like you know, them telling their story. You know, because filmmaking is about storytelling, and people have to believe in your story, even you as a filmmaker, to get it done.
Okay.
You know? And it's really about getting across to letting the viewers know that, like, hey, I'm serious. Not only I'm serious, I've tried and I've done this before and everything of the such. So, you know, it's really getting your story across to let the viewers know that you are serious about completing this film. You have creative partners around you, because you're not doing this alone. And that's where having partners are important. You know, you're not alone. So I'm here with, you know, X, Y, Z. I have support from this people, these people, and these people. So now I'm here to get this film ready. Please help support me. Please come on to help be part of this film. Definitely.
I love that, man, because that's actually great, because you know, that's saying something, because if you have a strong team, people that have been successful like yourself on other projects, that probably says a lot to the investor or whatever, that you're going to actually be able to get it done.
Without a doubt. You know what I mean? That investors looking at like not only that they don't want to make sure that you're the only one, even though
Right.
you may be smart, you know, intelligent, savvy, and everything. They just want to try and figure out who else is around you. You know,
Got it.
because you're not going to be able to do everything. You're just not. You know, what I mean,
Right.
I know a lot about filmmaking. There's some areas that I just don't know. You
Right.
know, I and so you need other people there to help you along. You need other partners, and if you have strong partners, you know, then you can be able to, you know, get the job done. And that's why I know a lot of people here. You know, they made this film for $10,000, and wow, yeah, you know, they persevered.
Right.
You
Right.
know, they persevered.
I got I got a question from the comments. If what's the best way to try to get to the camera department if you're starting off and you currently like an overall, just a general PA? What's the best way to transfer in the camera?
Well, to get into the camera union, you take a test, you pass you in, and then you would join as a loader. Now, what I always suggest for camera PAs who, you know, you have an interest in camera, but you don't know the technical side, you know, you don't know how to put lenses on anything of the sort. I always suggest to them work at a camera rental house. You know, that's Airy, you know, Panavision,
Hmm.
uh, PCS, and others. Work there for a year and a half, two, or whenever you feel your skill level is ready, to be able to gain some quantifiable knowledge. Now, plus when you're there, especially after this whole COVID thing, is when you're there, you're able to meet a lot of camera assistants. You know,
Hmm.
those working on the movies. Those are the people who are working on commercials. Those are the people who are checking out.
They're
You
coming there
know,
to check out equipment, right?
there you go. So now you're meeting them. Not only are you learning, which is great, you're learning this new camera technology, this new thing, but now you're meeting the people.
Right.
So you could call in the future to ask them, and you know, and hopefully, you know, because I'm in the camera union, uh, then you can be able to prepare yourself to take the union test, which happens every year. So.
Got it. Good answer. Good answer. I think we already answered this kind of, but I'm signed to an online network for Roku. We want to start shooting for the next season, but we need funding. It's Indiegogo. I guess his answer is Indiegogo, probably the best platform to raise funds, as opposed to, I don't know, Kickstarter, whatever.
It
She's already,
depends.
because she already got it. They already had us have a series now, and they're about to go to another season.
It depends. You know, I've talked to friends who raise money on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and you know they rave about Kickstarter because of the algorithm, and they can be able to reach more people, and you
Hmm.
know. But the problem with Kickstarter is that if you don't raise all your funds, you don't receive any
You'll
funds,
get anything. Yeah. Right.
and that's a risk. You know, because you put in all this work. Because I put a campaign together myself, and I went through Indiegogo because just like everyone else, you know, if you have the risk of not raising enough funds, you know, you still need funds to get your project done. So I went through Indiegogo. We raised about $5,000 to $6,000 for our project. Travel around the country to shoot the documentary. So
Hmm.
it depends on your philosophy and how you want to approach it. You know what I mean? So if you, and because my understanding, and this is with a friend who raised over $100,000 on Kickstarter, and he raves about Kickstarter because of the algorithm and blah blah blah. But also he's failed and he raised close to his number and he got nothing.
Wow.
So you know, there's a play there. You know what I mean? And it depends on you as a person. You know how you want. You know how you want to invest that time and
Got it.
effort.
Got it. Well, let me get one of my last questions before I close it out. Unless anybody else has some questions, go ahead and put in the comments. But you're new. You just got your camera job or your op job or your PA job. What do you could say about someone new coming on set? What should we look out for as far as etiquette? You know, the political side, that kind of thing? Starting out, you're new on set, you don't know anybody, don't have a lot of skills. Give me some pointers of somebody can kind of, once they're in there, how they can stay in there.
Yeah, now that depends on the job, because if you're a PA, especially on a bigger job, you're usually with the AD department. You know what I mean? And if you're a PA, you know, you're listening to and following instructions from your key PA and your second ADs. So that is the order of structure if you're a PA. Now, if you are a camera PA or loader, you know, which is within the camera department, you usually you'll be taking your cues from like the second AC. They will usually be trying to guide you in, and obviously the first AC who was in charge of the camera department, other than the operator and obviously the cinematographer. But you'll be taking your cues from your second AC, and usually about being quiet, being alert, and it's about anticipation. You know, hopefully seeing a problem before there's a problem. Be attentive, being alert. You know what I mean? And nothing wrong with asking questions. You know, and I always say one thing in the camera department: don't lie.
Don't what?
Lie. Do not lie. Do not lie. Because in the camera department, you know, we're dealing with $1 million equipment. We're dealing with, you know, all of these, you know, film stock and, you know, everything of the sort. It's better to be honest, to admit the mistake immediately than to try to hide it and then it's discovered.
Right. That ain't a good look.
It will be discovered.
Right.
Someone will figure out that widget is missing. You know what I mean? So and we will backtrack. You know what I mean? So,
oh my God.
Just don't lie. If you made a mistake, say, hey, because I was on the shooting my indie film. I was shooting DPN, and my first, you know, we was having a filter, and you know, she dropped the filter by accident. You know, it happens. You know what I mean? I immediately found out. To me, we get a replacement, but I don't want to be in the middle of a shot. You know, the lights are here. We're in an intimate scene with the actors, and I ask for the filter, and you like say, "Oh, by the way," that's kind of.
Oh my God. Yeah. Just take the L, man. Take the L. Right. Oh man. So are you? Speaking of that, are you in your position now? Most of the series you're working on, are you basically coming on as a contract? Are you hiring anyone underneath of you right now, or not really?
It depends on the show. You know, if I'm, you know, working as an independent DP, I do the hiring. You know, but if I'm working in as a camera operator, I'm coming in as a camera operator, and I hire, and sometimes done by the DP themselves, or sometimes the camera assistant may be crewing. So it depends on how that particular film is set up, or you know how they set. But it depends. You know, but
So where I'm going with where I'm going with this then, right? What does Quenell Jones look for then on his hires? Give me the personality types. What you got to come with if you want to work under Quenell? Under Quenell. Is it that bad, man?
I do a lot of lectures, and you know, a lot of people have a lot of, you know, adjectives for me, and you know, good friends. But to me, it just, you know, it's a respect factor. Obviously,
yeah.
It's about anticipation, you know, focus, you know, and ready to go. You know what I mean? To me, I could deal with that more so, you know, if a person may not, especially, you know, I work on independence, so if a person can be green, and that's fine, you know. But if a person is willing to get in the mud, get dirty with me, you know, grab that, ask for help, you know, if you need that, you know, I start showing them more. Like, you know, actually, you know, you need more of that, you know. So it's really about that. It's really about, you know, being focused, attentive, and be ready to go. You know?
Okay. Got you, man. Got you. Well, man, look, I appreciate you coming for the second time, and you know I'm gonna call you a third time too, right? So, hey, man. No, we love your spirit, man. We love what you do. You know, you do great work. We're all proud of you. You know what I'm saying? We seeing your work, and then I mean those scenes. And I'm always noticing, man. I'm always watching you when I'm, you know. So just please come back. We want to we're doing more in depth, get into the weeds. Because I try to give exposure to people But you know, we want to go farther into the camera and the people that actually want to go into more in depth. So we may do a Zoom with you if that's okay. Just yeah, man. And love you. One last word of advice to somebody that's trying to break in the industry in general. Just give us one little nugget of advice from Quenell.
Don't give up.
Nice. Denise, right? No, that's dope. That's dope.
All right.
I got you. Hey guys, look, check it out before we close out. Go ahead.
I said enjoy. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thank you. Everybody that's on the feed, appreciate y'all hanging with us so long. We had a little technical difficulties, but just let you know, tomorrow we're coming back. We're going to have Carla Benamayas. She's from Epic. She does film and television music for Epic Records. And then on Friday, we're going to have, of course, the production duo of Nova Wave, the female production duo. They've worked songwriting, production for Jay-Z, for Ariana Grande. So they're going to talk about their songwriting and production and how they got placed. And if you want to be a songwriter, tune in on that at Friday at 8. And then on Saturday, look for the time. It should be midday Saturday. But from LA, Ashley Soto, staff writer at Stars. So come check us out, guys. Please, we're going to keep this going for you guys. I hope you guys are getting knowledge out of this. If you are, hit me on Instagram. We're going to start doing, I'm going to get Mr. Jones here to come back so we can do a YouTube live for Zoom and get all these chats in here so you guys can start talking to them yourself. So hang with me, guys. If anything you guys want to see, any area of creative, I'm here for you. I'll do the best I can. But love you guys, and everybody stay safe. Quenell, stay safe, man. All right, keep your family safe, and we're checking out. Thanks, guys.